What's good, your boy, like your boys, back in the background, bang, so background, welcome back to Spooky Scary Friday. We're back with another one. The original video is in the description. Today we're gonna react to 3 true airborne horror stories animated by one and only MR Scary. Try to snack the future drinks, your boys, and let's get into it. We back, y'all. Hope you're having a blessed day. Smash the like button if you want more Spooky Scary Friday. Smash the subscribe button if you're new, and let's get it, y'all boys. Story 1. I know I've been gone for a long time, but we're back like we never left. You found something back and better. Let's get it.
I got there just before noon. When I pulled up in front of the
Yeah.
cabin, Jason hardly lifted his head from his phone. The Airbnb sat completely by itself in a thick stand of pine and fog. It was the perfect type of place to book for solace.
Let's do
I
it.
turned off the engine and the silence ate us alive. You know there's no Wi-Fi, right? He
Mm.
said.
That's the point.
He rolled his
Ooh.
eyes, got
That's-
out, and
I
lit
don't
a
like that.
cigarette that he claimed he quit months ago. I watched the smoke curl toward the gray skies. All I
Okay.
needed was a day. Just one day to feel he still loved me deep down somewhere. Once we got in, I started unpacking.
Hey,
Jason scrolled
whatever I missed, I'm gonna be catching up and everything. You feel what I'm saying?
and sulked. Weeks had gone by without him touching me. I stopped asking why. At 1 o'clock,
He's
we
cheating.
were sitting across the dining table
Got
from
it,
one
he's
another
cheating.
in silence. The air between us crackled with all the old tensions that hadn't been resolved. It felt like we had a dense, invisible forest of unspoken feelings between us. He finished his third glass of wine and looked at me. "You've been quiet," he said.
You too.
Just thinking.
Oh.
I replied. He smirked. "Wow, new hobby, huh?" He taunted, like he was the smartest in the whole wide world.
Why can't you just be nice for a date, Jason? Is it too much to ask?
Jason Walker's
I can't be all lovey-dovey in this crappy Airbnb. He pushed
Dang,
the
why you gotta
table
be
while
like that?
standing. The glass on it fell to the floor, breaking. The fight
That's
started
rude.
the way they always did. "I should have left when I had the option," he said angrily.
Bitch, you can't live right
and
now.
threw his glass into the sink, shattering into pieces just like our
What?
marriage.
Why didn't you?
I asked calmly. He gave me a blank look. "Because I wanted you to break first." Jason stormed out. He said that he needed some air. He left without a jacket and no flashlight. He just walked away into the
He's
tree
cheating.
line like the coward he was.
We ever know.
I didn't follow him. I cleaned
Hell
up the
no.
glass that he smashed against the sink. I sat down. I finished Jason's drink. And I waited.
Hey.
It didn't take long to discover what I already knew.
What?
Jason's phone was tucked away behind the firewood stack.
Ooh.
Screen still locked. He had never changed his passwords. Jason had always thought of himself as smarter than everyone else. That was his downfall, his flaw.
Told you,
That
told
and
you.
underestimating me.
Yup.
The messages were all there, unmistakable, ugly little truths
Oh,
packed in emojis and
told you.
promises made late at night. Text to a woman he only saved as L. These messages weren't one-time flings.
Yep.
They weren't a regret. They were the ongoing, regular, and intimate reality of his
Sharing
life.
shits too.
And then there was the one that burned the hottest. "I'm done. She's pathetic. I'll tell her after the weekend." He was ready to
Damn.
leave me. For her. All I had given. After all I had done, he was just going to throw me away
That's
like I was some
crazy.
old, worn-out doll. No, that was not going to happen to me. He thought I was still soft, still
That's why
young,
you go first. You see the message, you say, "Oh, I'm breaking up with you." Now you're not breaking up with me.
broken.
Huh?
He didn't know I had already let go of love and replaced it with tactics.
Yup.
I went to the fireplace and picked up the heavy
Oh,
antique
hold up.
metal vase
Hey,
the
it's not
Airbnb
worth it. It's not
owner
worth
used as
it.
decoration. Held it in my lap,
Oh,
feeling the weight of
shit.
it, imagining it connecting with his
bitch,
skull,
creepy.
not to kill, just to remind. And then I waited.
Chill.
When Jason returned, he stepped into the doorway, dripping with sweat and smirking like he still had a chance to talk his way out of it.
Lena,
I stood, took one step forward, and swung.
Damn.
The metal
Oh, he.
vase struck him just above the temple. A clean, brutal hit. His eyes widened for a heartbeat, then glassed over as his body collapsed to the floor like a marionette with its strings cut.
That's
I knelt
crazy.
beside him and checked his pulse. Weak, but there. That was enough.
Bro,
Dragging him
okay,
across
this
the
is getting
hardwood
too far.
floor took more effort than I expected. He was dead weight.
Are you a serial
literally
killer?
and metaphorically. I heaved, pushed, and pulled. Out the back door, down the path, and through the trees. The waterfall thundered
She's
behind
trying
the
to end
cabin.
his life.
That 500-foot drop had been the real
Whoa,
reason I chose this
bitch.
Airbnb. Not the view, not the quiet, the fall. The kind of place that made bodies vanish. I
Bro.
dragged Jason right to the edge, where the moss turned slick and the spray hit my face. He groaned, dazed, starting to stir. Perfect timing. I
Bro.
leaned down, brushed his damp hair from his forehead, and whispered into his ear.
This is what you get for betraying me.
That's
Goodbye,
crazy.
darling.
Then I pushed. There was
Whoa,
no
that
scream,
easily.
just a wet, brutal silence as his body disappeared into the roaring white below.
That's
When it
crazy.
hit, I didn't flinch. The current would carry him for miles. The rocks would strip his face of features. The cold would keep him preserved, unreachable. They'd never find him.
Nah, they're gonna find
I
him.
walked back to the cabin,
I'm sure you're
peeled
gonna
off
find
my
him.
soaked clothes, and began the rest of my work. I sliced a neat line
What the
across my
fuck?
palm, bruised my shoulder on the corner of the counter, smashed the mirror, and scattered blood across the tile.
So it was a
Then
self-defense
I picked
situation.
up the phone.
911.
Only one call needed to be made. I
911.
didn't care that there was barely any service. No Wi-Fi. This place had always been perfect for what I needed.
My husband,
My voice shook, just enough.
Whoa, that's
he
crazy.
snapped. He said he couldn't take it anymore.
Oh, you snapped.
He hit me. He ran into the woods. I think
They're gonna find him, yeah.
he's going to hurt himself.
They believed me. Of course
Can y'all
they
see the
did.
vid? Hold on. Because last time I did this, oh, y'all can see. Oh my gosh.
They sent officers and paramedics. A blanket was draped around my shoulders while I cried into it on cue. I told them about the cheating.
If they find the
threats,
body,
the bruises I'd hidden for months. They promised they'd search for them. They're still searching.
story 2.
Anna had found this cheap Airbnb, secluded cabin, forest views, all that rustic charm.
Hey, come
bullshit
on
for
now.
What was supposed to be a fun weekend, but the place felt wrong.
I like
from
his
the
new
moment we
animations
pulled
that
up.
he's doing.
Everything too quiet, like it had been holding its breath.
Oh, it's been a long
Waiting.
time since I reacted.
We settled in anyway, unpacked the tequila, started a drinking game, and by midnight, we were all sloppy drunk, laughing too loud to silence the unease crawling under our skin. I passed out on the couch at around 2 a.m. Couldn't have been asleep more than an hour when Emily's ice-cold hand clamped over my mouth, stifling a terrified shriek. Her eyes were wide, pupils blown with a thrill.
Living room. Now.
She whispered.
What does that mean?
I followed her on unsteady legs. Madison and Hannah were already circled around something in the floor, a rusted metal ring jutting from the wooden boards, like a bone through skin.
Open it.
Madison whispered, excited. I knelt
What?
down,
What's
gripped
under
the
there?
cold iron ring and pulled. The hinges groaned like an animal dying. That smell hit me so hard I gagged. Damp earth and something sickly sweet, like meat gone bad. My phone's flashlight caught rough stone steps disappearing into darkness.
Guys, we shouldn't. The owners hadn't mentioned the basement.
Hannah whispered.
Then
backing
why are
away.
opening the basement?
But
Close it back
Emily
up.
was already descending, giggling
Bruh.
that high, tight laugh she got when she was scared but wouldn't admit it.
Don't be such a fucking baby, Han.
The basement
I'm a baby.
wasn't built. It was
Yeah, I'm a bitch.
excavated. Just raw boulder
When they
walls,
tell, oh, don't such a big baby, come down here. Nah.
like one
Nah,
of those
bro.
Game of Thrones dungeons. The ceiling pressed down, forcing us to stoop as we scurried deeper.
You gotta be
In
kidding
the
me. You think I'm
corner
gonna go
sat
down
a
there?
child-sized table with
No,
a single chair.
buddy.
Scattered around it were toys no child should own. Dolls with mouths shown shut. A rocking horse with what looked like real teeth embedded in its mane. Behind the table, hundreds of tally marks scratched into the dirt wall. Some looked decades old. Others looked relatively fresh. Madison picked up a half-burned book from the table. Morale was carved into its cover.
Listen to this.
She said,
How about
reading
now?
from the last page.
Mommy thinks burning me will make me go away. Stupid
Whoa.
mommy. Fire just makes me angry. I'll wear someone new every night. Guys, I think someone did rituals down here.
That's creepy.
Emily pointed at a circle of black
I mean, they
candles
did.
in the corner. Madison's eyes lit up.
We should do a seance.
Are you
What?
freaking kidding me? My voice cracked.
Hey, I'm going out of that
Come
room.
on,
Sprinting out.
Tucker.
sprinting
Don't
out.
you want to meet little Moriel?
No, I'm sprinting
Emily
out, getting my
teased.
car. I'm
But
going.
that night,
No,
after too many beers and shots, there we were.
I don't
sitting
care
in a
how drunk
circle
I
in
am.
the
You're
suffocating
not getting me to do
basement.
this.
The
Never.
candles we'd found cast flickering shadows across the dirt walls.
Oh,
We
bro.
call upon the spirit of Moriel.
No,
Madison
you don't.
intoned.
Come forward and speak to us.
Hannah
Oh.
fidgeted beside me.
This is stupid
Is that it?
and disrespectful.
Wait, is that? Yeah, that's from the.
Emily
I got
snapped.
scared, man.
Moriel, if you're here, give us a sign.
Don't give us.
Suddenly, the candles flickered
Bro.
all at once. Very funny, I said. Who blew on them? No one answered.
Bro,
the air
y'all
had
crazy.
gone completely still. Then the trapdoor slammed shut with a bang so loud it made us all jump. What the fuck? I scrambled up, rushing to the steps.
It's over.
The door wouldn't budge.
It's over.
Guys, it's stuck.
It
A
is stuck.
horrible choking noise cut me off. I turned to see Emily convulsing on the floor.
Yup.
Her back arched at an
She's possessed.
impossible angle.
That bitch is
Her eyes
possessed.
rolled back as her limbs jerked
Don't ever
violently.
do this at home, y'all.
Madison
Never.
screamed,
That's why you watch
reaching
scary
for her.
movies to
Hannah
not do what they
screamed.
do, so you
Don't
learn
touch
from their
her.
mistakes.
Too late. The moment Madison's fingers
Don't
brushed
do
Emily's
what in the
skin,
scary movies they're doing. They're doing that so you don't do that. You learn, you watch and learn what not to do, not what to do. You feel what I'm saying?
Emily's
That
head
helps.
rotated 180 degrees
Oh,
with a loud
bitch.
tearing sound. Her eyes had changed. Not just black, they were leaking. Dark fluid streamed upward across her forehead, defying gravity.
Not Emily.
The voice from her mouth
Bro.
wasn't human.
I will watch
Tongue
Until
blade
Dawn, the movie. Hey,
over
you should.
each other, like a
should
child's
crazy.
voice stuffed.
Moriel. Here.
No.
Emily's body
Well, I
snapped
got-
up
ooh, I got
with a
chills
sound
again.
like kindling breaking. Her head
Oh,
remained backward
bitch.
with that terrible grin splitting her face literally ear to ear. The skin tore at the corners.
I know all your secrets.
You do?
She sang, neck twisting further with each word.
Hannah screws her professor while her boyfriend sleeps. Madison steals dead people's jewelry at funerals.
What?
Hannah gasped. Madison went white. She crawled toward me, moving like a spider.
And
Don't say that,
Tyler,
bitch.
good sweet Tyler. You watch your roommate shower through the crack in the door.
My stomach dropped. Stop it, Emily, I said, shaking. She was inches from my face, her breath sour and cold.
Not Emily.
She shrieked, her voice splitting into multiple tones. Then she lunged at me. Unbelievably strong hands wrapped around my throat as inhuman fingernails dug into my skin. My eyes rolled back in my head, while Emily twisted with inhuman speed, throwing
What?
Madison across the room
Damn.
as she tried helping. Hannah screamed.
Mommy tried to lock me away.
Emily... Morris whispered, face inches from mine.
Just like you'll be locked away
That's
forever.
crazy.
Suddenly, Hannah smashed a porcelain doll against Emily's head. She collapsed, releasing her grip. We dragged Emily up the stairs. This time, the trap door opened easily. Too easily, like it wanted us to leave. We burst into the living room. The morning sun was streaming through the windows. Emily was bleeding from her temple, still unconscious.
Bruh.
Again, her eyes snapped open. We scurried away while she groaned and blinked. However, this time, her normal brown eyes, confused, scared, stared at us. She started screaming, raw animal sounds of terror. Then she vomited, a thick black liquid that smelled like rot. We didn't wait, just drove to the hospital. Emily still screaming, her voice going hoarse. The doctor
hospital's not gonna help.
diagnosed her with a psychotic break. They didn't believe our story about the basement, about the voice that wasn't hers, and we were too much of
Tell
a
them the
chicken
address.
to revisit the dungeons. I visited her yesterday at the psychiatric hospital.
That's
She
stupid.
doesn't talk anymore. Just sits by the window, drawing the same
Yeah.
thing over and over.
I got
A
chills.
circle of
Well, I got
candles,
chills.
a child's table, and when no one was watching, she looked at me and smiled. Once again, her eyes,
Bitch,
just
stop.
for a second, went completely black.
What? Oh, he's in there. Story 3. Oh, we're moving fast, like Fast and
It started
Furious in
with
this bit.
Airbnb, a charming country cottage that would save our marriage,
Hmm.
Mark had said. Remote, romantic, just what we needed after months of silent dinners and separate beds.
Cool.
And I was totally for it.
Separate
The smell
beds.
hit me first as soon as we arrived, musty and sweet, like rotting flowers.
Yep.
The old caretaker woman who let us in didn't return my smile.
Do not disturb what isn't yours.
She instructed, pressing the key into my palm.
Hey, after
with
that, I'm not
ice-cold
going to the
fingers.
house. I don't know
Her
what they're
nails
doing right
dug
now.
into my skin as she emphasized.
Some things in this house, like being alone.
I followed her eyes
Me too,
into the
listen.
bedroom. That's when I saw it. The cradle. Small and ancient. Its dark wood polished by decades of touch. It sat in the corner like a spider waiting to strike. So
Bro,
out of
why could be-
place,
bro,
it'd send
okay.
creepy chills down my spine. Weird decoration, Mark muttered, dropping our bags. I nodded, mouth dry. Something about it seemed hungry. That night, I woke to Mark's breathing beside me, heavy and slow. Something else was breathing too, raspy, wet, coming from the corner. Creak. My body went rigid. Creak, creak. The moonlight slicing
Why
through the
even stay
curtains
there?
illuminated the cradle, rocking gently, empty, but moving. My rational mind grasped for explanations. Uneven floorboards, air currents, too much wine. Creak. It rocked faster now, the motion too deliberate, too rhythmic. I opened my mouth to scream, but couldn't. I stared, horrified as it swayed, then abruptly stopped, as if whatever was rocking it had noticed me watching and hated it. At breakfast, Mark told me I'd been mumbling in my sleep all morning.
What was I saying?
Dunno, something like, it's empty, but it's not. While Mark hiked that afternoon, I walked near the cradle. I dreaded how it pulled me, compelled me to touch. I was running my fingers along the wood when I felt them. Fresh scratches, gouged deep into the oak, like something had clawed its way out. I pressed my finger to one. It was sticky, warm.
Oh.
That night, Mark built a fire. We drank wine and talked about trying again. For the unborn we'd lost last year when a high-pitched cry shattered the moment. Unmistakable, impossible, coming from the bedroom. Mark's face drained of color. You heard that too? As we crept toward the
This is some
sound,
white people
the
shit.
crying
Now this is, you gotta be white to do this.
grew more desperate.
Going back to the
Wet,
house.
gurgling gasps between wails, like a baby drowning in its own tears.
You gotta get in the
bedroom
car,
door
hit that bitch
swung
on the
open
floor
on
and
its
just,
own.
you know, dash.
Inside, the cradle was empty, but the crying continued, filling the room like poisonous gas. Then everything went eerily quiet for a few seconds before laughter started echoing, soft at first, then building until it screamed the morphed words. Mommy! Daddy! Play with me! Every light in the house went out simultaneously. In the pitch blackness, I felt something brush against my leg. Small, cold fingers, grasping. Mark's scream was primal. We fumbled through the darkness, crashing into furniture, desperate to escape, but the front door wouldn't open, and every window was nearly sealed. The back door! Mark hissed, pulling me through the kitchen. Behind us, something
Wait, that was the
dragged across
vid, yeah?
floor.
That was the vid? Let me see.
Slow, deliberate, a scraping sound like tiny nails on
Yeah,
hardwood.
that was the vid.
Mommy. The whisper made my breath hitch. Please don't leave me alone again. I'm scared. Take me with you. Mark slammed his body against the back door. Once, twice. On the third try, the wood cracked.
Again!
I screamed, joining him. My eyes kept flickering back to the shadows in the dark. The scraping was closer now.
Hurry! It's near!
I cried, shivering at the cold sensation that had kissed the whole of my body. I'm freezing. It whispered directly into my ear. Mark rammed the door again. This time it splintered open. We burst into the night, the frigid air burning my lungs, and ran blindly through the darkness, not caring about the branches whipping our faces. Behind us, the house seemed to pulse with sickly yellow light. Mark yanked open the car door, fumbling with the keys. The engine sputtered once, twice. I looked back at the house. In the upstairs window, our bedroom, stood a small figure. Even from this distance, I could see its unnatural smile splitting its face nearly in half. It pressed its tiny hands against the glass and mouthed something. I'll find you. The engine roared to life. Mark floored it, tires spitting gravel as we tore down the driveway. Neither of us spoke for miles. What was there to say? A week later, I couldn't stop thinking about the house,
Yep.
about the cradle, about what the voice had said. I raked the internet until I found the details. A small newspaper article from 30 years ago cited the cottage's owner had left her baby in that house, days alone in the cradle. By the time anyone checked, he was dead, starved and cold. They never found the mother, but her diary was retrieved, which told in great length how her
Oh, my bad.
illegitimate pregnancy ruined her life. It was the last entry that nearly chilled my blood. He won't be alone. I'll always send him someone to play with until I come find him again. I wept the whole day and showed it to Mark when he returned from work. He said he felt sorry, but we better put everything behind.
Yup.
But can you ever really put
Yes.
behind something like
So we're gonna end it right. I hope you enjoyed. So I'm gonna see you boys in the next one, and peace.